Rising mortgage interest rates have stymied the Bay Area housing market. The question becomes, how long will this window of opportunity last? Coming up on this Silicon Valley Snapshot. I don't know if you've read the news lately, but the sky is falling. At least that's what the media wants us to believe. But I'm here to break down the facts, the data, figure out what these rising interest rates mean for you back at home, whether you are a home buyer or you're a home seller, or maybe you're both. We're going to break it down for you right now. But before we get into that data and before we get into the numbers, if you're a home buyer in today's marketplace and you're trying to figure out what the best decision is for you right now, you can go ahead and text the word data plus the area or the zip code or the neighborhood that you're looking in, and we will get you a comprehensive data set to assist you in your home buying decision making sent straight to your inbox. And if you're a home seller in today's marketplace and you're trying to figure out, is now the right time for me to sell? And if so, what should I price my property for? What's the right pricing strategy? Because right now pricing strategy matters tremendously. You can text the word data plus your property address to the number down below, and we'll get all that information sent straight to your inbox. Mortgage rates have climbed significantly over the last 6 months, and what I really want to do is break down what that means for you back at home if you're a home buyer, and what that means for you back at home if you're a home seller. Home buyers, earlier this year, the rates were as low as 3.5% to 4% and have climbed all the way through 7% now. And chances are we might see rates climb into the mid 7s or even the 8s before the end of the year. That's a really hard pill to swallow. Now, the good news is that in tandem or in correlation with the rising interest rates, a significant decrease in housing prices. My team has helped dozens of families over the last several months buy homes. And what we are seeing right now are home prices that are home selling right now for significantly less than they did during the springtime. We're talking $50,000 less, $100,000 less, $200,000 less, sometimes even more than $200,000 under the comparable sales that posted in the spring of this year. So just like any situation like this, there's always good news and bad news. The bad news is that the rates are getting higher, but the good news is the prices are coming down in response to the rates getting higher. Well, where does that leave you? A lot of home buyers are thinking, well, I'm just going to wait on the sidelines. I'm going to wait to see what the prices do in response to the rates as we move into Q1 and Q2 of next year. In theory, that sounds really good. And by the way, if I were uninformed, I would be thinking the same way. And the truth is that right now, in the marketplace, there is a ton of uncertainty, both on the buy side and the sell side. When we look at history, and as we know, history tends to repeat itself, what we find is that typically the best deals, the times where we have the most amount of leverage as a home buyer, are in these times of uncertainty. As it stands right now, we are in a period of deep uncertainty. And I do believe that that's going to last at least through the election and even maybe beyond the election and into the beginning of 2023. But at some point, everyone's going to adjust and be comfortable in the new normal. I know this sounds very weird, but it's something that we all, as humans, are capable of doing. We're all adaptable by nature. And so eventually we're going to adapt to the current conditions. Now, at first, it takes a little bit of time for us to get comfortable with the fact that rates are in the 7s or in the 8s, but eventually things are going to settle and on both ends, meaning home buyers are going to start to get more and more comfortable with the idea of having a 7 or 8% interest rates, and home sellers are going to get more and more comfortable with the idea of having their home sit on the market for 2 to 3 months without any offers before they get a buyer that is truly interested and truly loves their home. You see, what happened earlier this year and in previous years is a lot of buyers were settling. They weren't buying homes that they loved. They were buying whatever they could get. But now buyers are taking more time and being more selective, more picky. And that just means that it's going to take more time for them to survey the inventory that's available for them to find the one that's right for them. And you know what? That's okay. Right now, though, sellers are still in the mode of, oh, well, what's wrong with my house? It hasn't sold in 2 weeks. And that is the window of opportunity that a lot of buyers right now are finding, is they're finding the sellers that have unrealistic expectations for the market that we're in. And so instead of being patient and having an agent that coaches patience and lets them know like, hey, this is okay, this is normal, a lot of agents still want the sale quickly. A lot of listing agents still want the sale quickly. And so what they're doing is they're coaching their sellers to take offers frankly, that they probably should not be taking. Now, of course, there's a lot of variables and a lot of factors that go into this. A lot of sellers want to move and they want to move on with their life, fine. But right now, there is a good portion of sellers in the marketplace that are selling their homes for a significant discount because they are panicking regarding all of the things that are going on in the marketplace right now. And in times of uncertainty is where all the opportunity lies. I've had multiple team members over the last 45 days secure properties for their buyers more than $200,000 under the last comparable sale that posted in the spring of this same year. So what I want to do right now is go through an interactive exercise with you to really drive this point home. A very common scenario that we're running into right now is finding a home in the $2 million price range that is now going for about 1.8 million. So if you were to buy that home right now, you'd effectively be getting a $200,000 cushion or a $200,000 discount on that home. Now, the cool thing is that the market's already proven to you that home in a lot of people's minds is worth $2 million. It may not be worth $2 million right now, but we all know that during these cycles, things are going to always come back up. And so you've got $200,000 of built-in equity into the property right now. The problem though, the interest rates are significantly higher. And so if the rates were where they were at before, say 4%, the monthly payment on that would be $92.75. Now at 7%, your principal, interest, taxes, insurance is going to be $11,980. Effectively, your monthly payments in this scenario are going to be $2,700 higher per month. That is nothing to sneeze at. That is very significant. However, when we compare that to the $200,000 that you're effectively saving on the home, it would take 74 months for you to pay that money back, effectively give away all the money that you made on that home. That's a little over 6 years. Now, the question becomes, do we believe that rates are going to come back down into the fours over the next 6 years? Chances are the answer is yes. It's not a guarantee, but if you look at historical trends, what has happened when rates have gone up, when you look at what economists are theorizing are going to happen over the next 12, 24, 36 months, at some point in that time frame, we're going to see an adjustment of rates back down into, hopefully, the 4s and 5s. Now, of course, it's not a guarantee, so you are essentially hedging your bets in this case. And by the way, we can actually draw that timeline out if we were to negotiate a rate buy down from the seller. You can use what is called a 2-1 rate buy down, which essentially takes your entire first year's interest rate down 2 percentage points and the second year's worth of interest rates down 1 percentage point. So essentially, year 1 would be 5%, year 2 would be 6%, and then the following years would be 7%. In that scenario, it would take over 86 months, over 7 years for us to give away that full $200,000 discount that we got on the front end of that purchase. The biggest flaw in most home buyers' logic right now is that they're waiting for rates to come back down to make a purchase. The issue with that being the second rates come back down, what do we think is going to happen with competition? What do we think that's going to do to the housing market? If there is a temporary dip in interest rates over the next 12 months, it is going to be a bloodbath. It is going to be a frenzy. There is a ton of pent up demand right now. Life doesn't stop because there's a recession happening, meaning people are still having children, and that 2-bedroom condo is getting awful tight for a family of 4. That 1-bedroom condo is getting awful tight for a family of 3. That 1-bed apartment that we started renting when we were engaged and now we're married and have a kid and maybe have 2, that is no longer going to cut it for those individuals. They need a home. And so, yeah, we might be able to put life on pause for 6 months, 12 months, but the second any of those buyers see a window of opportunity, they're going to go for it. And what that means for the majority who are waiting for rates to come back down, that means that they're going to get swept up into the herd just like everyone else. And it's going to be the same story for those buyers all over again. Another common theme that I'm hearing from buyers right now is that, hey, I'm gonna wait for prices to come down into this range. They're in a $3 million price range and they're like, hey, I'm gonna wait for prices to come down to the 2.5, 2.7 range. The issue with that thought process is they're waiting for sellers to react and adjust their listing prices down. That might not happen for a very long time, but just because they're listed for $3 million doesn't mean they're going to sell for $3 million. And so that's where the opportunity comes in. That's where if you are an aggressive buyer right now that's looking at the $3 million home that's been on the market for 45 days, for 60 days, well, those are the kinds of opportunities that you seek out, make offers on, and negotiate a price that is, well, it would have been unfathomable, like even 6 months ago. That's how you get a good deal. They don't come to you. You have to seek them out. And by the way, that just comes down to who's working with you on the buy side to help you identify those opportunities, to help you negotiate those opportunities. And we here at Selling Silicon Valley Group, we have 25 agents all over the Bay Area in 7 different counties here. So regardless of whether you're in San Francisco, in San Mateo County, in Santa Clara County, in Santa Cruz County, in Monterey County, Alameda County, Contra Costa County, San Joaquin County, Stanislaus County, Marin County, regardless of where you're in right now here in the Bay Area, my team's got you covered. We are literally receiving dozens of phone calls, emails, text messages from buyers and sellers alike from our YouTube channel every single week. We love it. So if you're in the market right now to buy, sell, or invest, contact us at the information down below. All right, so we focused a lot on home buyers. Now, a small tidbit of information and advice for home sellers that are watching this video right now. Truth be told, right now is probably not the best time for you to be selling your home if there is no significant need for you to sell. Most of the families that we are helping right now are moving to other parts of the country or other parts of the state. Life must go on. Either work is drawing them or pulling them in a different direction. Family life is pulling them in a different direction. These types of life events are not going to stop happening. And so totally understand if that's the case. But if the situation is, hey, I'd kind of sort of like to move one day, but I have no real concrete plans and I'd like to walk away with the most amount of money in my pocket, well, right now might not be the best time. There have been dozens of sellers that we've met with over the last few months. Many of them who we've given the advice, like maybe let's wait it out and see how things go end of this year, early next year before we put the home on the market. And there are many who have decided to go on the market right now. But if you are going on the market right now, the advice that I'm giving all of our sellers right now is we have to stay patient. Obviously, we want to try and maximize the eyeballs and maximize the amount of momentum that we have in the first 2 weeks of the listing period. A lot of homes still sell quickly. The best homes still sell quickly if priced appropriately and marketed correctly. But there are still a lot of homes right now that are taking a month, 2 months, 3 months to sell. And so patience is key, but a lot of sellers right now are not staying patient and in a weak moment are giving away their equity. And so my advice to all of you watching this video, whether your home is on the market or you're thinking about putting your home on the market, is to stay patient and in a weak moment, don't make a decision that's going to give away a massive amount of the equity that you've built, because at some point in the near future, we are going to see prices rebound and we are going to see things swing back into sellers' favor. And hard to know how soon that's going to be, but if you can hold on for a little bit, might be in your best interest to do so. One last thing to think about here, food for thought for home sellers, is the macro is wait. But what you really want to do in a selling situation is monitor the micro. Monitor what's going on in your specific neighborhood, because monitoring the micro is going to tell you when you have the least amount of direct competition in your area. And this fluctuates. This changes literally every single week for every single area. So if you're looking for a custom report that's going to tell you exactly what the micro data looks like in your specific neighborhood, text the word data plus your property address to the number down below, and we'll get that information sent straight to your inbox. If you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and click the notification bell. It costs you nothing, but it helps us get in front of more home buyers and sellers like you that need to hear this information. And as a token of my appreciation for doing all of that, you can text the word free shirt to the number down below, free shirt to the number down below. We'll send you a free Selling Silicon Valley t-shirt. This is Danny Gould. I'm Selling Silicon Valley, and I will catch all of you in the next Silicon Valley Snapshot.